Hello guys, SubstainD, and today I'm doing a dual commentary with OhMahCod.
Hey, what's
And,
going on, guys? It's Jeff.
and we're going to be debating which new next-gen console we would get. And if I were to get a console, I would get the PS4.
And if I was going to buy one today, I'd probably end up getting the Xbox One, although I'm probably going to buy both.
But seeing that I just built myself a PC, I'm probably not going to get one, but I'm just going to be debating over for the PS4. And in general, what I want to start off saying is the PS4's graphics card looks like it's a lot more powerful than the new Xbox One. And I mean, pretty much besides the graphics card, it seems like both consoles have pretty much similar specs.
The specs are actually very different between the Xbox and the PS4. It looks like the PS4 is going to be a little bit more powerful in almost every way, except for the processor. But it's all about the experience. When you're playing on a console, I mean, if you want to get really good graphics, you just play PC. I mean, a PC has infinite power, but when it comes to a console, you want to have the best experience. With the Xbox 360, you pretty much undeniably had the better online experience. You had to pay, but you also have to pay for PS4 now. So it's the same cost for, a year of playing online. Xbox has a lot more experience with online gaming, and that's where pretty much all console game is going. Every single game now has an online mode, whether it's multiplayer or leaderboards or something like that. Uh, and also, just look at the controllers. Look at, how much better the Xbox 360 controller was than the PS3's. It's just, I feel like the 360 was better than the PS3 in a lot of ways that will translate well over to the next gen. And that's really why I'm buying the Xbox One right now.
So the PS4 is now going to be pay to play online as well as the Xbox.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think they're both $50 a year. The Xbox might be 60 a year. I'm not sure.
So I think that'll kind of like even it out, and people are gonna have to decide which one they're gonna want to go with, the PS4 or the Xbox, because the Xbox Online has been better than the PlayStation Network in the past, and now that you have to pay for the PlayStation Network, I wonder how many people are gonna stick with the PlayStation Network over switching to going in and getting Xbox Live.
Yeah, and you also have to look at the exclusive. I mean, look at E3. Look at what they talked about. PS4 has a lot of cool-looking exclusives, but I mean, I've just been with the Xbox exclusives for so long, and I feel like I should buy more of them. And then there's the one game that I'm really looking forward to, Titanfall, which will not be available on PS4. And other
See,
than that, I mean, pretty much every game I want to play is available on Xbox. I mean, Destiny, it looks like it's going to be better on PS4, but it is playable on Xbox One.
and it
Um,
seems like some of the exclusives though that I wish I would have had a PS3 for to play was The Last of Us, which just came out, and also there was another one. I think it was
Uncharted was awesome.
no. There's one that's supposed to be coming out soon. You're like a hacker in the city.
Oh yeah, that's Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs. Yeah, that's
I've
what I
never
thought it
really
was
been into
called.
those kind of games,
I
to be
mean,
honest.
it seems like it'd be cool. Like it kind of feels like it looks kind of like Grand Theft Auto a little bit, and it's like Grand Theft Auto because it's in the city, but it's more like Assassin's Creed style gameplay. That's what it looks like at least.
Yeah, and you know what? It's hard to do a debate like this before the consoles come out because you don't know what kind of game is going to define that generation of console. I mean, look at the last one. Who would have thought that the first-person shooter would define this, generation of consoles going into it? I mean, barely anyone played them going in. I mean, there was Halo 2, and there was Call of Duty 2, and that was pretty much it. But then, with this generation, Halo 3 absolutely took the world by storm. Call of Duty 4 took the world by storm. Even, third-person shooters like Gears of War and Uncharted, the shooter defined the last generation. It's hard to look at the next-gen consoles and figure out, which is going to be better for whatever game takes over.
And I think
I
it's
mean,
I think it's crazy how third person shooters seem to be taking over now within the next
well, it's
gen
really just
console.
adventure game. It's not even third-person shooters. I mean, I wouldn't classify Last of Us as a shooter. That's really,
Hmm.
you can shoot people. I think that's just like an action-adventure game. Same with games like GTA and Red Dead Redemption, all the most recent popular games like that. Um, they're not really shooters. I mean, you shoot people, but they're kind of
They're
action.
mainly for the story. It's more of like an RPG type game.
not really, it's more like blending genres is what
Yeah.
the new thing is. I mean, with Last of Us, it's a little bit of an RPG, it's a little bit of a shooter, and it's a lot of adventure. I mean, there are RPG elements, there are shooter elements, but most of the game is just you're following a story. It's hard to classify that type of game. They're just doing what's necessary to tell that story, if you know what I mean. Um, I don't know. It's really I'm really just excited for this next generation. It's going to be really cool going through and looking. This is going to be all new. New things are going to happen. New games, new ideas are going to come out as a console grows with its like current generation. People just enhance and enhance and enhance because you can't really revolutionize anything if you're not changing the hardware. Now that the hardware has changed, it's been expanded. It's going to make room for a lot more changes going forward in games.
And also
Cool.
with the new prices of the consoles, it seems like the PS4 is selling out for $399, and the new Xbox One is gonna be about $500. So I don't know
Yeah.
what the price is.
The only reason for that though is the Kinect, and the PS4 was actually supposed to be the same exact price, and they literally, I think it was like 3 or 4 days before the E3 announcement, they cut the actually, it might have been more than 3 or 4 days. There was a source somewhere I read it from. I'll try to find the link when this goes on my channel. But they took their PlayStation Eye out of the standard bundle, so it's not included with the console, and that took $100 off, and that let them undercut the Xbox.
And I also
But if
heard,
you want to get the same package with both consoles, you have to pay the same amount.
did you see that PlayStation Eye for PS4? They have a new camera that's supposed to be kind of like the Kinect. I'm not sure how great it would be, but it's supposed to be as good as the Kinect and better than their previous PlayStation Eye with you had to have the controller. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's new territory. I'm not really, I don't really care about the motion sensing stuff. I just find the whole Xbox thing cool that you can, everything you can do with a controller, you can just yell at the Xbox and it'll do it. Like you can just tell it to turn on. You can tell it to instantly multitask over to other things. I almost feel bad for Microsoft because they set it up in a way that matches what people do with their Xboxes and PS3s right now. They just didn't really look forward and realize, it's going to be a new generation of consoles. People are going to change what they do. Because right now, I mean, I look at my Xbox friends list, about half of the people are watching Netflix. Another quarter are playing shooters, and the other quarter are playing sports games. I mean, there's not really any indie games being played. There's nothing really like that. And that's what they suited their console for. They included a lot of entertainment stuff with that Xbox Guide and Kinect. And basically Kinect being the mother of all remotes, and it turns out people are pissed off about that. So
The
I
one
don't
thing
know.
I am excited though for the PS4 is I want to see if they'll actually create a new system menu, because Xbox has changed their system menu multiple times from when it first came out to now, and the PS4's has just been the same completely. The system menu, they haven't changed it at all. So I want to see it with this new PS4 if they're gonna actually change the menu, because I think a lot more people would like it if it was more simplistic, kind of like the Xbox. So it's going to be different seeing how they do that with this new system.
With the Xbox One, I mean, the Xbox interface is just so good. I haven't used the PS3 enough to really judge it, but I know that literally the Xbox interface has driven all of Microsoft's design,
Yeah, especially with
structure.
Windows 8.
Yeah, Windows is now based on Xbox. It's not even the other way around. That's the crazy part. I mean, they saw how much people love the Xbox interface, and
then
they
also,
made Windows
yeah.
match it a little bit. It's really kind of cool.
And then we also got the Windows phones and stuff like that. So
But they came after the Xbox interface too. The Xbox interface was really their first venture into that whole,
the block, the tile.
Metro interface, that vibe, outside of the Zune, and the Zune doesn't really count because no one bought it.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that we didn't really convince one another about which one we're gonna buy. I know I'm gonna probably buy both, but I'm leaning Xbox right now, mostly because of history, because of the games that are coming out. And you're leaning PS4 because it's a more effective bundle. You're getting more for your money with the hardware, and there's more future promise ahead with indie games and future exclusives. So it's pretty cool.
So yeah, I think I would go with the PS4 if I were to buy a new console, but seeing that I just built this PC, I think I'm gonna stick with the PC for now because you can always upgrade. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the dual com, and have a good one. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, peace out.